What's up, guys? We have lots of tiny, silly season news, lots of it to go over today. I have a full list of things that we have to go over today. There is not a big, clear, giant thing that I have to go over, but there are a lot of little things that have been announced today that I think deserve to be all in one video, a separate video, in here. And I think that it's good to go over it today. So let's start with one of the biggest ones, I feel like, and that is Myatt Snider, who raced full-time in the NASCAR Euro Series this year, got 5th in points, is going part-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for Richard Childress Racing with sponsorship from TaxSlayer. He has done 3 truck races this year for ThorSport Racing, which is a Ford, also TaxSlayer as a sponsor. Last year, he was full-time for ThorSport in Truck Series and actually got the Rookie of the Year. Back in 2016, in his first ARCA Menard Series start, he actually won that race, so that's pretty awesome. A driver in his early 20s. Marty Snider, announcer for NBC, that's his dad. Marty's his dad. Myatt is the son, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. Part-time, his first race will be Daytona in February. All the other races are yet to be announced. The car number is also yet to be announced, and it's probably going to be the 21. They'll probably put a full-time driver in the 2, since Reddick's going to Cup in the 8 for RCR. And yeah, Richard Childress Racing, that's pretty interesting there. We still don't know who will go full-time. So yeah, this will probably be the 21 and probably part-time schedule. We still do not know the plans for part-timers in this car in 2019, Kaz Gralla and Joe Graff Jr. We still do not know their 2020 plans, whether they will be sticking with Richard Childress Racing or what will happen. So that's pretty interesting there. Yeah, Myatt Snider, pretty interesting, going from Ford to Chevy. So that's pretty interesting there. And yeah, going to part-time Xfinity for Richard Childress Racing in 2020. First race will be at Daytona in February. So next big news. This was actually kind of announced, kind of leaked a while ago, but now it is officially confirmed by the team itself. GMS Racing is shutting down their Xfinity Series program for next year. I'm kind of sad about this because late in this year with John Hunter Nemechek, they were on a roll. They were getting top 5s consistently. Their lowest finish lately was like 6th, the top 10. So it's kind of sad to see them go, but they are focusing completely on their ARCA and Truck Series programs. Obviously, they're expanding their Truck Series programs a ton, so it makes sense that they're doing that and getting rid of their Xfinity team. This leaves John Hunter Nemechek a free agent, most likely going to go full-time Cup for Front Row Motorsports in the 36, since we know Tift is out for next year in that car, and Nemechek has done well beating all of his teammates in the 3 races he has done this year, because Tift was out because of health issues for Front Row in that 36. Also, David Reagan's out. What will Front Row do? It's a big question in this silly season that's left. Will Front Row downsize? Will they put two more drivers? Because Nemechek still has sponsorship, and that's kind of interesting too, of how GMS would shut down when Nemechek has quite a bit of funding. So that's interesting right there, obviously. All right, so next news after GMS Racing is shutting down their NASCAR Xfinity team. Like I just said, they will not compete in the 2020 season at all at NASCAR Xfinity Series. Next is Denny Hamlin. Just today had shoulder surgery. We already knew he had to have that in the offseason, really quick in the offseason. I didn't realize that, and it was successful. He is expected to recover and race the entire 2020 NASCAR Cup Series season, so that's nice to see there. He will be back in time, recovered by then. He had a successful surgery, they said, so that is nice to see. And next kind of big news, Ryan Blaney and Advanced Auto Parts will be a new sponsor for him, being the primary sponsor of his car next year for 4 races. They signed a multi-year deal with him, so that's pretty cool there. And yeah, I like that. His car looks like if McDonald's were to sponsor a NASCAR or a Penske car, so that's pretty cool there. I like the paint scheme. The number font seems to be a little different on that number 12, so that's kind of an interesting little change there. I don't think it had anything to do with Advanced Auto Parts as a new sponsor, but yeah, good thing for that. Maybe keep Blaney in there for a little more than next year because that's all his contract is. And yeah, Advanced Auto Parts signing a multi-year deal to be the primary sponsor of that 12 Team Penske car for Ryan Blaney in a multi-year deal for 4 races next year. So that is pretty cool. Primary for 4 races. All right, so this is really interesting. So we all know the next gen cars coming in 2021 to the Cup Series. So the next gen foundation, it seems like this is very possible, could be made by a Powerhouse Cup team, and lots of sources are pointing to that Powerhouse Cup team being none other than Joe Gibbs Racing, probably the best team in the Cup Series as of late, probably the best team in the Xfinity Series as of late. And yeah, so that's, wow, that's interesting to make the foundation for the car for all of the teams. I mean, that's really interesting. They will have spec chassis, remember that. And it was alluded to earlier, it's not confirmed that Dallara will be making them, which makes the chassis for IndyCar and F1. So, I mean, that's, I don't know. Powerhouse Cup team, Gibbs seems like the one that they're pointing to. Yeah, that's, I don't know. Nate Ryan tweeted this, so we'll have to see what happens. The next gen car foundation coming in 2021 to the Cup Series, possibly going to be made by a Powerhouse Cup team that sources are pointing to and could possibly be Joe Gibbs Racing. All right, so obviously we know the press conference for Jimmy Johnson, his retirement and everything has been going on today, and they asked Rick Hendrick who will be the driver of the 48 in 2021, since next year is going to be Jimmy's last year. Well, he said Jeff Gordon. It was a joke, and Jeff Gordon was sitting there as well with Jimmy and Rick Hendrick, and Jeff Gordon said, no, we don't have a driver. Right now, we're focused on Jimmy's retirement and getting Jimmy the right good equipment to be competitive on his final year and on his send-off to retirement. So, yeah, that's interesting there. They said, well, we have to check out more of the Gen 7 or the next gen car things and see what type of driver is the best for that car. And it's interesting because Ally's staying there, so they'll have complete sponsorship even after Jimmy's retired. They're staying through 2023. Jimmy's retiring after 2020, after next season. So they'll have the sponsorship, maybe a little bit more sponsorship if Noah Gragson goes, because he probably will. And yeah, I don't know if he's the right type of driver like they say, but I think if money talks and the sponsors there, including Ally and Switch, which is a longtime sponsor of him, it seems like Gregson could definitely go to that 48 car if it's not renumbered in the Cup Series in 2021, driving a next-gen car. So, this is a little bit of news. Scott Zipadelli, currently crew chief for Austin Hill in the Gander Outdoors Truck Series for Hattori Racing Enterprises, also was last year for Brett Moffitt in that same truck, won the championship last year, won 4 races this year, almost made the championship 4, had a successful year, is returning, just like Austin Hill. We already know he's returning to that 16 for Hattori Racing Enterprises in the Truck Series. Scott Zipadelli also will be, so the pairing will be the same, so that's nice to see there. All right, so Joey Logano just set the world record for the longest Hot Wheels track and broke the record of the last year record that was set in Russia last year. And yeah, Joey Logano just beat that. So that's certainly interesting right there. They made a whole new Hot Wheels car with Joey Logano's special thing there, and that's longest Hot Wheels track record. So that's pretty cool in the Guinness World of Records book. So here's a little bit of news here. No Go Fast Racing driver has been confirmed yet. We know that. And it seems like they're still trying to go with LaJoie, but it still is possible that they go in a different way, according to Adam Stern on Twitter. And it says, according to Jordan Bianchi, that Front Row Motorsports has publicly announced that they are interested in Corey LaJoie if he does not return to Go Fast Racing in the 32 next year. We know Go Fast will have a Stewart-Haas Racing Alliance, so I would hate to see LaJoie not go there, especially since we know Custer's going full-time in Cup for full-on Stewart-Haas Racing in the 41, so I would hate to see, Corey LaJoie go there. not go there. But, maybe Suarez, but that would kind of be weird. SHR, let's fire Suarez, but then let's just put him in an affiliate car. I can't speak. Or it would still be weird just to put him in the 00 Xfinity car for SHR. That wouldn't make much sense either, but who knows? He has sponsorship from Ayers, not as much as he did with Gibbs, but he still has a little bit. And it seems to be maybe carrying him to a full-time Xfinity ride with RCR and part-time Cup ride with RCR as well in a third car for RCR. Here's a little bit of more news. NASCAR Heat, its headquarters, is moving from Charlotte, North Carolina to Miami, Florida, and Colin Smith will not be the president of it anymore, but will still be an advisor for the NASCAR Heat Pro League. So that's nice to see right there. Kind of just the interesting changes that I thought I should go over in this video, especially about the president and, NASCAR Heat moving their headquarters, and NASCAR Heat 5, is still expected to come in September of next year. So, I can't thank you all for watching this video enough. And, release date still there, even though they're moving their headquarters. It could change, and the president will not be the same, but he will still be in that company as an advisor for the Heat Pro League. So, NASCAR Heat Pro League. So, thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.